Hello everyone, it's Favorite Uncle Bob back to another video, and today we're going to be looking at the Transformers Wild King Optimus Prime, LightLong and Leafback. So before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below which video or what else you'd like to see in a video. So onto the figures themselves, and I say Wild King because in the show they're clearly saying Wild Docking. So maybe it's a translation error? I don't know. I don't think so at this point. But anyways, like I said, we have LightLong, Optimus, and Leafback. I got these guys for my birthday. I was honestly really not expecting these at all, and I am so happy I got them. So let's start off with, the big one, Optimus Prime. So here you can see we have a bunch of yellow paint. Get some yellow paint there for all the windows, some lights. Get a nice silver for the grill. I was kind of tempted to paint this silver as well for the bumper section, but I decided against it. Unfortunately, the rims are not picked out in silver. Instead, the tires are painted black, as you can see by this one, that back one right here. So, yeah, not too shabby. Definitely that evergreen kind of design, but I think it works. So let's take a quick look at LightLong. So focus. Hey, focus on the face. Come on. Thank you. Get some nice blue for the eyes, some brown for the giraffe horns, and some right there. It would have been nice to see that brown kind of splotch throughout to mimic a more realistic giraffe. But you get his the lightning bolt right here. I did go ahead and paint some. I might have to go over this one a little bit one more time. But his hooves. I think I should quit YouTube and go into manicure. What do y'all think? Kidding. Did some paint job right here, which you'll see more in the combined mode, and his tail. His tail not a pickaxe. So now as far as articulation in giraffe mode, the head can look up that far, can look down. Let's get these guys off to the side because it's not wanting to focus. You do get some rotation right in the middle of the neck. You get downward as well. The front legs can bend forward all the way, rotation. They can also bend back if you need them to. He does kind of get a waist rotation, but that is more for transformation. And the legs can go all the way back. You can get a swivel if you unpeg them from right back here. You get a thigh swivel. You can get, the hip motion as well, and this likes to pop off. And the tail itself can go straight out or all the way down. So there is all of that. And I'm bringing in Leafback real quick. So I can choose, since they want to focus on that. Get some focus. Thank you. Get the nice red eye for the, eye. Get the nice yellow for his horns and part of his frill. These horns, which are movable for some reason, are done in black plastic. His hoofs, is that what they have? Hooves, or is it feet? Whatever they are. Get some nice painted toes that I did not do. Basically, you get a bunch of yellow kind of all throughout, and it looks really good. And the tail, that could have maybe used just a little bit of yellow right there, but oh well. So, not too shabby. Now, as far as articulation on dyno mode, the head can look up and down just a little bit. Legs can move forward that far, can move back all the way. And same issues with this guy as LightLong. You can get the hips moving and everything, and thigh rotation if you were to separate this. As it stands, you get all the way back, and that is pretty much it. The tail can also move down if you need it to. So, yeah, overall, really dig this line. I really love these little guys. So much fun. But size comparison-wise, here we have G2 Sideswipe. As you can see, these guys are no slouches when it comes to size. Looks really good. So I'm going to set these guys off to the side for real quick so we can bring in Optimus Prime's accessories. So he comes with this totally not a helmet piece done in some nice gold and silver. So you get that. You get his axe, which I don't know why they didn't fill this in and paint that, but okay. And you get two of these things. Sure. Well, what can you do with all these? Well, a couple things you can do. For the axe, you do have a peg hole, or a peg, sorry, and you got tabs on either side of the blade. So depending on how you want to store this, you can use the tab and just plug it into the side. You can take the peg right here, plug it into any of the 5mm, ports, anything like that. You can take the helmet. There are those two tabs, or two slots, sorry, and two tabs right there. Plug, this in, something, where does it go? Like that, if you would like. I think that looks kind of stupid. Another one you can do is you got two very shallow tabs. You can hook around that piece right there, and this can go either way you want it. You can have that, and then kind of store this maybe using the further back peg, get something like that going. These pieces, pretty much wherever there's a double or even a single 5mm peg, can go anywhere on this. So yeah, pretty much your imagination is the limit for this. I am going to do something like this, and yeah, pretty much however you want to store this, you can store it. So yeah, I don't care for the storage in this form because typically it doesn't look, horrible, but with this stuff, it just looks stupid. So yeah, I opt not to do it. Now you can also put the axe on the back if you want, and that does look a little bit better. So, but enough about the storage. All right, so since my mic decided to just stop without telling me yet again, it's becoming an occurrence around here. Yeah. So to transform him, you just want to basically strip him down. So remove his little lightning bolt, rip off the giraffe head. Very cool, I know. Hopefully, what is it? Peeta isn't watching. Straighten out the tail and remove that, and you're left with the basic body. So straighten out the legs, rotate the waist 180. Go ahead and split those legs. Bring down the arms, rotate, and then rotate the hands, the hands so that the way they're oriented properly. Next, come back here, drop down his backpack, flip up the head, push it back up, and start reattaching everything else. So I think for the mammals, they want the symbols like this going that way. I could be wrong. I think it might be this way. I think. I know that I did notice a pattern that, like with the dinosaurs, they had it going one way, and then the mammals are going the other way. But anyways, then for the animal head, you got focus. You got two sets of pegs. You want to flip down so this one peg is up and straighten out the giraffe head. That'll just plug into the shoulder. And then finally, you want to give him his weapon, which is molded weirdly. So you can see it's got a little tab on the handle itself, which will enforce it to go one way. And I don't know why they did that, other than maybe to prevent breakages, but yeah. But anyways, here we have LightLong in robot mode. So going to bring in Leafback. So get that unplugged, unplug this, unplug this. And his transformation is 90% the same. The only difference is the feet. So just going to straighten that out. Bring down the feet, flip up the toes. Bring down feet, flip up toe. Rotate waist, bring down on arms, rotate, bring down, rotate, and rotate. Bring down back, flip up head, push up back. Then you want to give him his leaf back. Then, flip down the dual peg system to give us that one peg. That'll go into his shoulder. So I'm going to plug it into this side. And do the same thing for the tail. I might have the stuff mixed up on him, but there we go. There we got LightLong and Leafback in their robot mode. So Gonna roll in Optimus Prime and set these guys off to the side for right now. To start off with, just drop down the legs, split them. I'm not a fan of how tight these were. It was so tight, I had literally had to get my spudger. So get that situated, and then we want to raise on up. You want to go ahead and untab the arms, rotate them out, get the arms untabbed and rotate out. Rotate the entire, well, might help to actually get the shoulders out of the way as well. Now you can rotate the entire body 180, flip this down to reveal the head, and just straighten out the arms. And there you go. There you have Optimus, LightLong, and Leafback in robot modes, and they look really good together. So let's take a quick look at LightLong. Golly. I'm gonna remove this because it's gonna want to focus on that. So focus, thank you. Give some nice silver for the face, brown for the giraffe horns to mimic those, and blue for the eyes. So looks really good. Get some nice exposed silver throughout. The silver that's on the inside of the legs, that was already there. So not too shabby. And for Leafback, get that rotated down. His head sculpt reminds me of the Swamp Thing from DC. Just a little bit. So, and you get some nice yellow throughout the figure. Looks really good. And they both clean up very nicely. And for Optimus, so focus, that is definitely a very primey head sculpt. Looks really good. Silver for the faceplate and his crest. Blue for the eyes. And pretty much the only new detailing is right here. I was tempted to paint that silver as well, but most of the time he spends in combined mode. So now, as far as articulation on Optimus himself, you get full 360 at the head. You get up that far. You don't get any down. You get full 360 at the shoulders, out all the way. You get bicep rotation, 90 degrees of elbow bend. You get an upper waist rotation. The legs can move forward that far if you get the butt flap out of the way. They can move back that far. You can do the full splits. You don't get any thigh rotation, unfortunately. You do get 90 degrees of knee bend, and that is it. Common complaint, and I agree with it, ankle tilts. He really needed some ankle tilts, and I just knocked them both out. Great. So I'm only going to focus on one of these guys' articulation because they're exactly the same. So heads do not move. Shoulders can do full 360, move out that far. You get bicep rotation, 90 degrees of elbow bend, nothing at the wrists. You get waist rotation, legs can move forward that far, back that far, full splits. You get thigh rotation, and you get a single joint knee with a full movement. So overall, not too shabby. So we're going to stand these guys up for the size comparison. So no more sleeping on the job. Come on. Okay, size comparison. Here we have G2 Sideswipe, and you can see these guys are a little bit shorter than an average deluxe. They're probably mini-bot deluxe size, give or take a few millimeters. But Prime here, whew, he's big. So yeah. And speaking of Prime, we still have all these accessories. So set these guys off to the side. Now, his axe has the same weird thing as LightLong, so you can just plug it into the fist one way. For the helmet, that is where, clipping in right here comes into play. And again, it just looks stupid. Yes, I know I have it the wrong way. It wasn't wanting to go in the other way. Now, the instructions really, again, don't mention these. And the only thing the fandom has figured out is if they go back here for, like, some support. Or you can plug them in on his shoulders, like right here, like right here, do whatever you want. But in this form, he really doesn't need them, so do whatever you want. So, yeah. Overall, Optimus by himself isn't like super impressive, but when we get into what these guys can do, that's when he gets really impressive. So let's get into it. So we're going to set Prime off to the side for right now, and we're going to take LightLong, get this, strip him down pretty much, just get everything off, and you want to go ahead and flip the head back into its alt mode configuration. Do the same thing for the arms, and then just make sure that the hooves are facing up. So rotate that up. Then you want to rotate the waist. Yeah, rotate. Nope, you don't want to rotate the waist 180. My bad. Go ahead and just plug the legs and everything together, and just rotate these back, and they will tab into place. So you can see a little bit of a cutout right there, clip right there. So get this lined up, and there you have fist mode, and it looks really good. So then setting that off to the side, do the same thing for him. So flip this back, flip that back, unpeg this, unpeg that. Just gonna quickly fly through this. Now the one thing I did notice about him is you can push these down, and I'll show that here in a minute. So get this plugged up, get these plugged together, flip these up, and we can get these lined up. That'd be great. Oops. So get these lined up. Come on. You know you want to. There we go. So get that lined up. Then you can actually push these down. There is enough room. And there is the other fist. And you can see that I did paint the thumb, so it looks more like an actual fist versus just, Savage Claw mode, Transformer Cybertron style. So, yeah. And setting all this off to the side, we're going to bring in Optimus, remove his axe, remove this piece, and this will clip onto the back of the head and look utterly ridiculous, but whatever. So with these guys, they can both form either they can both form arms or legs. So we're going to start with let's start with the legs. So if you want to get these off camera, kind of bend the leg a little bit and pull. That is a little bit tight, but then you want to flip this piece down and it will go on the reverse side. So do the same thing for this side. So flip that down, bring that in. So here we have Prime prepped and ready. So you want to bring in any one of these guys and just plug in via those two ports, those two pegs, or vice versa. So I find this is to be the tricky part because you don't have much room to really grab. There we go. So get that plugged on. Then you want to take the dino head, flip it up the peg so you have the duals, and they will plug into the chest, or what would be the chest for his robot mode. So get that plugged up. Next, get the foot plugged in, and there is one foot all done. So we're going to do the same thing for LightLong. So get this plugged up, get the giraffe head in, then get this all plugged up, and flip this around, make sure that is up. Now the instructions also want you to flip this piece up for reasons, but get this plugged in, and finally you want to raise up the camera just a smidge. You want to drop down Optimus's chest piece to reveal a matrix of sorts, and plug in these pieces. Now they will go on the correct side. So if you have LightLong on, this foot, this is the peg you'll use. If you have him as an arm, you'll plug it into the according side. So do the same thing for the Leafback, and there you go. There you have Optimus ready to kick some butt, quite literally. And it looks really, really good. It would definitely look a lot better once you get the arms. Now, as far as these pieces go, your imagination is key. Plug them in wherever you want. So, and same goes for these pieces. The axe obviously will fit into the hand. You can use this as a weapon if you'd like, This piece, I don't know. I've just seen it plugged in onto the side. If you want, sure. Now, one thing I did notice is the tail can come off for reasons. Sure. So, but I will be right back. We're going to get Optimus back into his base form, and I'll show you the arms. So I'll be right back, folks. All right, so here we have Optimus back in his base form. I'm going to lower the camera. I did just leave this down because no point. So from here, you want to rip off his arms. Rip off his arms. Now you can do just one if you want, or you can do both. But you want to flip these pieces down. And the cool thing is they actually give you storage. And it's not just, oh, plug them back here or, do whatever. No, what you do is you open up the wheels and then you grab the according arm. So I got to make sure I got the right side. And it'll plug in. You got a port or a peg hole right there. Plug into the bottom one. So get this all lined up. Plug that in. Then close this up. Now, you do want to actually use these pieces. It will help with stability. So do the same thing for this side. So open that up, take this, plug that in, close this all up. Then you want to plug this piece in. And now Optimus is ready to go. So you want to bring these guys in the exact same configuration. So just plug this up and plug this up. For him specifically, they want you to plug this into the bottom of the fist using the double pegs. If you want, sure. What I do with the tail is they want you to have the dual things out. Now, they say to plug it in like this. I think that looks kind of stupid. So what I end up doing is copying LightLong and doing that. So get this plugged up, get that rotated up, so that way the dual pegs are more out. And there you go. Oh, we're almost done. Plug this in and plug this in. And there you go. There you have Optimus, camera bump, all combined up. And this is really where this thing shines. It looks really fun. And he can still hold his axe and LightLong's weapon. Now in the show, it comes out of his fist like this. That just, whatever. Sure. But get that plugged in, and there we go. Now he is all armed up. You do lose some articulation, technically, if you have it in the official configuration. All you get for the arms is a bicep rotation. When they were in leg mode, you lost nothing. You got the full 90, everything. So now, if you do the unofficial way, where you just untab this, and there is your elbow, if you want it. You can also have wrist rotation or bicep rotation, whatever rotation that is. Okay, I mean, I guess it's wrist. So you can have it that way if you'd like. So yeah, overall, do I recommend this line? Yes, absolutely yes. I did order Megatron 2-pack and Hydrophant. I'll probably just do those as shorts or something. So yeah, definitely highly recommend this line. It is a lot of fun. It's going to be worlds better than Cyber World. These are both aimed for kids, but this one does it a lot more successfully, in my opinion. Cyber World, that is aimed for, like 2-year-olds. Whereas this one is truly aimed for kids. By no means is this collector's grade. Obviously, when you're missing, ankle tilts, especially in the combined mode, would have been nice. Yeah, just I can't say anything good. I can't say enough good things about this line. Does it suffer for the gimmick? A little bit. These guys having no head articulation does suck. So, now speaking of head, you do lose a bit of upward movement. Otherwise, you can get just that much rotation. So yeah, the headpieces aren't the most spectacular thing, but like I said, get this line. If you're skeptical, just get maybe one of the limb bots. You will love them. They take a mediocre figure and turn him into something awesome. So, but that is about it. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more video reviews.